Everyone says you need to buy new soil and seeds each season, but what if they're wrong? I'm going to show you a groundbreaking backyard secret that allows your garden to perpetually regenerate itself. Prepare to transform your gardening approach and achieve true abundance without ever reaching for your wallet again. Let me paint you a picture that might sound familiar. Every spring you find yourself at the garden center, loading up on bags of expensive potting soil, compost amendments, and packets of seeds. Your cart fills up quickly, and your wallet gets lighter by the minute. By the end of the season, you've spent hundreds of dollars just to get your garden started, and come next year you're back at square one, ready to repeat the expensive cycle all over again. This frustrating truth hit me hard 3 years ago when I calculated that I was spending over $400 annually just on basic soil and seeds. That's when I realized there had to be a better way. What started as a cost-saving experiment has transformed into something far more profound, a thriving, self-sufficient garden ecosystem that literally feeds itself and reproduces year after year without any external inputs. The promise I'm making to you today isn't just about saving money, though you absolutely will. It's about creating a garden that works with nature's own systems to produce endless abundance. Imagine walking into your backyard and seeing fertile soil that gets richer every year, vegetables that reseed themselves naturally, and perennial plants that return stronger each season. This isn't gardening fantasy, it's the reality I've created, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it too. Composting is key. The foundation of any self-sustaining garden starts with soil that creates itself, and composting is your most powerful tool in this transformation. But forget everything you think you know about composting because we're going beyond simple kitchen scraps. Your entire property is a goldmine of organic matter waiting to be transformed into black gold. Start by looking at your yard with new eyes. Those fallen leaves that you typically bag up and send to the curb, they're nitrogen and carbon powerhouses. Grass clippings from your weekly mowing contain essential nutrients that plants crave. Even weeds you pull from existing garden beds become valuable additions to your compost system. The key is creating a balanced mix of green materials like fresh plant matter and kitchen scraps with brown materials such as dried leaves, cardboard, and wood chips. Here's where most gardeners miss the mark. They think composting takes forever and requires complicated turning schedules. But the reality is that nature composts perfectly well without human intervention. Create a simple 3-bin system using wire fencing or wooden pallets. Fill one bin throughout the season. Let the second bin break down, while occasionally adding water during dry spells, and harvest finished compost from the third bin. This rotation ensures you always have compost in various stages of decomposition. The lasagna gardening method revolutionizes how you think about soil creation. Instead of digging up existing grass or weeds, you're going to smother them and build new growing space on top. Start by laying large pieces of cardboard directly over grass or weedy areas. This cardboard layer blocks sunlight and eventually decomposes, adding carbon to your soil. So let's talk about lasagna gardening and worm farming. These methods are honestly some of the easiest ways to build healthy soil without a lot of digging or tilling. By layering organic materials much like assembling a lasagna, you create a nutrient-rich environment that worms absolutely love. Over time, worms help break down the layers, turning them into beautiful, fertile soil. It's a win-win for both your garden and the environment. On top of the cardboard, alternate layers of green and brown materials just like you would in a compost bin, but you're creating an instant raised bed instead. Layer grass clippings, then fallen leaves, then kitchen scraps, then more leaves, continuing until your bed reaches about 18 inches high. Top everything with a 4-inch layer of finished compost or aged manure if you have access to it. This lasagna bed can be planted immediately, while the lower layers slowly decompose, feeding your plants throughout the growing season and creating incredibly rich soil for years to come. Worm farming might sound complicated, but it's actually the simplest way to create the most nutrient-dense soil amendment possible. Worms transform kitchen scraps into castings that are like vitamins for plants, and the liquid that drains from worm bins can be diluted and used as an incredibly potent fertilizer. You can start with a simple plastic storage container, drill drainage holes in the bottom, add shredded newspaper as bedding, and introduce red wiggler worms along with your vegetable kitchen scraps. The secret to never buying seeds again lies in understanding which plants practically do the work for you. Some vegetables are incredibly eager to reproduce and make seed saving almost foolproof, while others require more attention and technique. Starting with the easy wins builds your confidence and establishes your seed bank quickly. Tomatoes are perfect beginner seeds because the process is so straightforward. You'll want to choose your best tasting, most productive plants, and let a few fruits ripen completely on the vine until they're almost, overripe. Scoop out the seeds along with the gel that surrounds them, place everything in a small container with a little water, and let it ferment for 3 to 5 days until a layer of mold forms on top. This fermentation process breaks down the gel coating and actually improves germination rates. Rinse the seeds clean, dry them on a paper towel for about a week, and store them in labeled envelopes in a cool, dry place. Peppers, both hot and sweet varieties, offer another foolproof seed-saving opportunity. Simply let the peppers ripen to full maturity on the plant, remove the seeds, and dry them thoroughly before storage. Beans and peas are equally straightforward. Just leave pods on the plant until they're completely dry and brittle, then shell out the seeds for next year's planting. Now, let's dive into open-pollinated varieties and some advanced tactics for seed saving. This is where things get a bit more interesting and honestly, a bit more rewarding too. Here's where strategy becomes crucial. Focus exclusively on open-pollinated and heirloom varieties rather than hybrid seeds. Hybrid plants are created by crossing two different parent plants and their seeds won't produce plants that match the parent's characteristics. Open-pollinated varieties, on the other hand, will produce seeds that grow into plants virtually identical to their parents, maintaining the traits you selected them for in the first place. The timing of seed collection dramatically affects your success rates. Seeds need to be fully mature but not yet scattered by the plant. For flowers like sunflowers and zinnias, watch for the petals to dry and fall off, leaving behind mature seed heads. Cover these heads with paper bags secured with rubber bands to catch seeds as they naturally release, preventing birds from getting to them first. Proper storage really extends seed viability for years. Most seeds actually store best in cool, dry conditions with stable temperatures. Small glass jars with tight-fitting lids work perfectly, and adding a packet of silica gel or even a small container of rice helps absorb any excess moisture. Make sure to label everything with the variety name and collection date, and store your seed collection in a refrigerator or basement where temperatures stay pretty constant. Starting your transition to garden self-sufficiency doesn't require a complete garden overhaul or, a significant upfront investment. Just begin by designating one small area, maybe a 4 by 8 foot space, as your experimental zone. Build a lasagna bed in this area using free materials from your property and neighborhood, focusing on creating the richest soil possible. Choose 3 or 4 easy seed-saving vegetables for your first year: tomatoes, beans, peppers, and lettuce. These provide good variety and are honestly virtually foolproof for beginners. Purchase open-pollinated seeds for these varieties one final time, then commit to saving seeds from your best plants. This single purchase can actually provide you with seeds for decades if properly managed. Common pitfalls can derail your self-sufficiency journey, but they're easily avoided with proper planning. The biggest mistake, honestly, is trying to do everything at once rather than building systems gradually. So, start small, master the techniques, and then expand your operation. Another frequent problem is inadequate seed storage, which can lead to poor germination rates the following year. Invest in proper storage containers and maintain consistent cool temperatures for long-term seed viability. Weather and pest challenges will definitely test your resolve, but remember that diverse plantings and healthy soil create resilient garden ecosystems. If one crop fails, others will succeed. And saved seeds from multiple years provide insurance against single-season disasters. Keep detailed records of what works in your specific climate and conditions, building a customized knowledge base that becomes more valuable each year. The transformation from a consumer-dependent garden to a self-generating ecosystem takes patience but delivers rewards that extend far beyond simple cost savings. You're creating a legacy garden that becomes more productive and beautiful each year, requiring less work while providing greater abundance. The knowledge and skills you develop become permanent assets that serve you for life, regardless of economic conditions or supply chain disruptions. Your garden is waiting to become the abundant, self-sustaining paradise you've always dreamed of. The methods I've shared aren't theoretical concepts but proven techniques that work in real backyards for real gardeners. Take that first step by building your soil engine, saving your first seeds, and planting your first perennials. If this guide has opened your eyes to new possibilities for your garden, make sure to subscribe to Smart Garden for more revolutionary gardening techniques and share this with fellow gardeners who are ready to break free from the endless cycle of purchasing soil and seeds. Together, we're creating a community of truly self-sufficient gardeners who understand that the best abundance comes from working with nature, not against it.